Hello, John Bennett here with 3 Steps to Conquering ADD, ADHD, and today I'm talking about the finish it rule. And basically, it's deciding whether or not you're going to finish a task that's on the list or something that's got to get done. And here's the thing, most people with ADD, like myself, are excited about starting a lot of things, but finishing them, not so much. There's an excitement when you start a project many times, and you got that initial energy, and for whatever reason, a lot of things just get boring and you're like, it's just not worth finishing. However, there's oftentimes things that, in life that you have to do, that you got to get done. And for that, you got to kind of apply some, discipline and some tips and tricks. And that's what I want to talk about. Some kind of common sense things that you can do to accomplish some things, and what I call the finish it rule. And like I said, ADDers thrive on having multiple things happening at once, but the problem with that is that multitasking can kill your productivity, and it's not the most productive way to handle things. So here's the crucial question you must ask: is this worth finishing? And if no, I say just drop it. Unless you absolutely have to do it. If yes, you have to get it done. Here's how you can kind of break it down. Just by chunking it. When I say chunk it, you break down the parts of the task into actions, and you take each chunk and do a little at a time. That seems like common sense, but I know for me, a lot of times the things that I don't want to get done, they're just like this giant hairy thing I just don't want to deal with. As soon as I chunk them down into small parts, it becomes easy. It's almost, by that point, it feels like it's 75% done. And then if it's something that I really don't want to do, I tie a reward to it. So I'm like, okay, once I get this done, I'm going to, whatever. I'm going to eat a piece of chocolate or whatever, or I'm going to play a video game or watch a show or whatever. So you tie a reward to it, and then, kind of self-motivate yourself. But this right here to me is the most important part, chunking it down into steps. Just make a list and, of the actions and then the next actions that have to get done. And that'll make it a whole lot easier to deal with. So basically, here's some other thoughts on if you find that there's just a lot of stuff in your life that you don't want to do. Maybe you should structure your life so that you can do things that excite you more. And that's easier said than done, I know. But make a lifestyle change. Really look hard at what you're doing with your life. And if the key, I think, is to try to put yourself in a position that you are doing things that you're really good at and that excite you. Because otherwise, it's drudgery, and you're wake up every day and you feel like, oh my gosh, I got to do all this stuff I don't want to do. And there's always going to be things you don't want to do. But, if you can put yourself in that position of finding your passion and really doing something that it won't feel like work. But for the stuff that does feel like work, break it down, chunk it down, decide whether it's worth doing or not. If it's not, just throw it in the trash and forget about it. Don't let it hang on your mental RAM and just suck the life out of you. Just forget it. Just trash it and move on. Those things that are worth doing, chunk them down and knock them out and add some motivation behind it. Anyway, John Bennett here with 3 Steps to Conquering ADD, and this has been a video on finishing tasks, which is in step number 3, tips, tricks, and techniques. I'll see you soon.